What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Today we're going to be doing the Raw recap. We started off with a recap of the Miz and Reigns from last week, which brings us out to the ring with Miz TV doing the Mizzies. The hell is that? He gives a trophy to Curtis Axel, gives a trophy to Sheamus and Cesaro, gives one to himself, and says that the Shield doesn't want anything to do with Sheamus and Cesaro and the Miz. They say they ended Roman Reigns, that the Miz is now the new big dog. Roman Reigns comes out. The Miz says that he's stupid because there's one of him and four of them, and that the rumors about the Shield reunion is just hype. Roman Reigns came back with, "Who said it was a rumor?" Then Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins come out. They rush the ring, start fighting with Sheamus, Cesaro, and Curtis Axel. The Miz dips out like the chicken that he is. After they lay the three of them out, they corner the Miz. He runs into the ring, ends up catching a dirty deeds from Dean Ambrose. Then they set him up for the triple power bomb. They stand over him, give him the Shield fist bump. This is a 20-minute segment that was 10 minutes way too long. This will be a precursor to just about everything that goes on tonight. We come to our first match, Jason Jordan versus Carl Anderson. Jason Jordan had a good bit of offense at the beginning. He had Carl Anderson in the corner, lined up. He got distracted by Luke Gallows, which allowed Carl Anderson to come in and take out his knee. After the commercial, Carl Anderson is now on offense. Jason Jordan fights back. After a little more interference from Luke Gallows, Jason Jordan gets a neck breaker on Carl Anderson for the win. We then go backstage. Miz is sitting on a table with an ice pack on his shoulder. Kurt Angle comes in, tells the Miz that Sheamus and Cesaro and the Miz are going to be facing the Shield in a TLC match at Table, Ladders, and Chairs. We then come to our next match, Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson. Crews had a ton of the offense from the get-go. He was actually looking pretty good, but Elias Sampson trips him up on the ropes and was able to get the drift away for a pin. This is an okay match. It was kind of short, but like I said, it was still okay. And we get Enzo Amore coming out, running his mouth as usual. He calls out Kurt Angle, tells him that he was screwed because he had a clause saying that nobody was supposed to touch him, that they'll lose their chance at the title and get fired. But Kalisto does this, and he's awarded with a title shot. Kurt Angle tells him that he signed Kalisto after he made that clause. Enzo tells Kurt Angle that he should be doing whatever he can to make the champion happy, and right now, he's not happy. So Kurt Angle goes, "You know what? Fine, I'll make you happy. You don't have to worry about your title match at TLC," which Enzo starts smiling. Kurt Angle says, "You're going to have it tonight." And as he's walking up the ramp, he says, and he's waiving the no contact clause on that contract because the match is going to be a lumberjack match. We then have Braun Strowman versus Matt Hardy. Right at the start, Matt Hardy goes for the side effect. Braun Strowman gets out of it and he starts pummeling Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was able to get the twist of fate on Strowman, didn't put him down. He tried to go for it a second time and it failed. Braun Strowman power slammed Matt Hardy and got the pin. We got Braun Strowman picking up Matt Hardy, walking up the ramp, and he is met by the Shield. The Shield then attacks Braun Strowman, beats him down, and does a triple power bomb through the announcer's table. We then have Mickie James coming out, says to Alexa Bliss, "It's time for you to get out of your booster seat and put your big girl pants on." Alexa Bliss comes out, says that she's going to be doing a retrospect of Mickie James. She puts his old video up, which basically runs down Mickie James. Afterwards, she says that she's going to run circles around her. Mickie James calls her out to a fight. Alexa Bliss comes walking down the ramp, stops short, and says, "I don't think so." So Mickie James runs out and attacks her and beats her down. We then have cruiserweight action, Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. This is actually a pretty good match, I'll actually say that. I was really surprised and kind of interested that Jack Gallagher has turned heel. Brian Kendrick won with his sliced bread finisher. And we go backstage with The Miz talking to Kurt Angle and says that he wants a fourth person added on to the match. He says okay, so Braun Strowman is now added on to the TLC match. We then have Finn Balor come out, cuts a promo about Bray Wyatt and Sister Abigail. He says, "I don't know what to say about this. I do. Move on." Then all of a sudden, flashy shit Mick Wyatt shows up on the Titantron. He says that you will be afraid of Sister Abigail, and all these goofy ass special effects come up. He's got a veil on and he's talking through a voice synthesizer with a female voice, which is probably the worst sounding thing I've ever heard, because you can hear his voice cracking in through the female voice. And I kind of know it's supposed to be Sister Abigail channeling through Bray Wyatt, but they at least could have done a better job. I'm sitting here with probably 1,000th of a budget that the WWE has, and I could probably come up with a better version of the voice than they did. So Sister Abigail talks talks a whole bunch of shit to Finn Balor, and then turns back into Bray Wyatt, and that's it. What the fuck? What the hell? Oh my god, why are we still doing this? 1, why are we still doing Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor? 2, why in the hell are they doing this to Bray Wyatt? I mean, he's become uninteresting just out of what he's doing now. They're basically going to put him in drag from what it sounds like. Great, Bray Wyatt's going to come walking out in a dress. Nice. Finn Balor's going to be fighting Corporal Klinger from MASH. And for you young folks, MASH was an old show back in the early 80s. Instead of signing a female talent who could portray Sister Abigail, I think Nikki Cross from NXT's name was thrown around a bit, but I think she's kind of locked in her character with that thing there. But there are a couple other people who are named, including Bray Wyatt's actual sister. Could have done that and probably made it maybe a little more than halfway believable. So anyways, rant over, back to Raw. We have Kurt Angle, Bayley, and Sasha Banks backstage discussing who should face Asuka at TLC. Then Alicia Fox comes out, starts running her mouth how she should be facing Asuka. And once again, the road crew in WWE is forgetting the duct tape. Her voice is annoying as hell. I'd rather listen to nails drug across chalkboards than listen to her. But anyways, like I said, rant over. Then Emma comes in saying I started the women's revolution, all that stupid shit, and that she should be the one to face Asuka. Then we have Dana Brooke pop up. Oh my god, haven't seen her in forever. Apparently she was involved with some bodybuilding competition a couple weeks ago, so I think that explains her absence. But it's been a while since we saw her. Anyways, long story short, we're going to have a 5-women elimination match to find out who's going to be facing Asuka at TLC. Which is next? Emma, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Alicia Fox, and Dana Brooke. Shortly after the match started, Dana Brooke botched a body slam on Bayley. Horribly botched. Bayley came back and pinned Dana Brooke. A second after that happened, Sasha Banks tried to steal a pin by trying to get Bayley, which failed. The two of them started arguing. Alicia Fox eliminated Bayley. Then Emma and Fox started to beat down on Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks got the bank statement on Alicia Fox. She tapped out. Then Emma snuck in a pin on Sasha Banks. So surprising, Emma's going to be facing Asuka at TLC. Basically, she's going to be fed to Asuka, because I really don't see Emma beating Asuka. I think this was yet again just another match just to get all the women on the show. They probably could have done this a little bit better, but no, we're just going to have one big match with everybody in it. We then have yet another Shield recap from earlier in the night. They've been doing this off and on the entire night. It brings us to our main event, Kalisto versus Enzo for the Cruiserweight title. This is a lumberjack match, so all the Cruiserweights come out. It was an okay match. It was actually pretty good. About 3/4 of the way through the match, the lumberjacks start fighting each other. Then Kalisto superplexes Enzo into the scrum, knocking everybody out. Enzo and Kalisto get back into the ring. Kalisto lines up for his finisher. Enzo reverses it, gets him into a pin, and Mustafa Ali pulls Enzo out and they start fighting. Enzo gets back into the ring as Kalisto is starting to climb the ropes. They fight up on the top rope, and Kalisto does the Selena del Sol on Enzo from the top rope, pins him, and is now the new Cruiserweight champion. Kalisto is hoisted up on the Cruiserweight's shoulders, and they celebrate in the ring, and so closes the show. This was actually pretty good. It was decent. There are way too many recaps of what happened earlier in the night with The Shield and The Miz and The Shield and Braun Strowman. This was like 3 or 4 times the entire night. Way too many times. We do have a good bit of memory. I can remember what happened 15 minutes ago when you showed it to me the last time. The matches were pretty good. We definitely got a little bit more variety into them, which is good. We're not seeing the same 4 people fighting each other. I think the only match that kind of repeated itself was Carl Anderson and Jason Jordan. I can skip that because it's the only match in the night that did that. But that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. I'll be back tomorrow for the SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below if you saw tonight's SmackDown and what you thought about it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.